Well, it was good to get the win today. This has been 2 long road trips that we've gone on for out of the first 3 weeks. We'll go on another road trip next week, but was pleased that we are 3-0. We head into conference play 3-0, which is the goal, always to win every game that they let us play. So I'm pleased with that. We obviously didn't play perfect by any means. Played extremely poorly on offense early, especially. Played well on defense for most of the game there until the last drive with the backups. And special teams was good again. Gave us a lift there with the 97-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. I'm disappointed with the turnovers on offense, especially with the interceptions. Matt had gone through 2 games without any interceptions, and to have 2 in one game, that'll get us beat down the road with tougher competition. So we're excited to be 3-0, but obviously we have a long, long ways to go and a lot of stuff to work on.
Lane, you guys looked at some smash-mouth football in the second half. Was that more what you saw, or was it a mindset that you wanted to work out with?
Well, we'd like that to be our personality. You never know when it's going to be during a game. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late. We weren't clicking as well as we'd like prior to that. Had a few big plays, but not very consistent. We were putting ourselves in long yardages with some very crucial penalties. So it was good to see. It was good to see the line respond. It was good to see the backs, especially Allen, and then CJ ran hard there at the end too. So it's good. You're going to have games like that, especially on the road. Things start not going your way, and you need to rely on the ground game. So that's the first time we've done that out of 3 games. So at least we know it's there as part of our offense.
Does Allen's performance change anything as far as the tailback?
Yeah, I don't know yet. We'll look at the film and figure it out. Allen had a really good week at practice, which speaks a lot for him. It's a great lesson for our team. He could have went in the tank very easily. Could have said things in the media, and he did a really good job. And really, in his limited touches throughout the week in practiced extremely hard, and it paid off for him, which is a good story for all of our players to see.
Can you talk about special teams? How do you balance off, say, the not getting the conversions, the 2-point conversions versus the long touchdown? Does that kind of take away a little bit?
Yeah, it kills some momentum, but there's certain looks on our 2-point conversions where when they give us certain looks, we're going to go for it, and they're not all going to work. We like to think that when we make those decisions, the percentages are in our favor. It's why we're making the decision. And like anything in football, it doesn't always go as planned. Yeah, I thought it was a really big momentum lift. The game was very close at the time, kind of going back and forth. Both offenses struggling a little bit, and the defense is playing well. And it worked out perfectly. It's why the emphasis from the first day of getting here has been on special teams. I would challenge that we put more time and dedication to our special teams than anybody in the country with our practice plans and what we're doing. So now it's continued to pay off for us now in 3 games in a row.
What were you thinking when you were trailing 14, 13 minutes?
I wasn't really worried. I just really thinking about what we can do to play better and perform better. And I told our guys this wasn't going to be an easy game coming in. These guys last week meant nothing, and I'm sure I haven't seen scores, but I'm sure there's 3 or 4 stories like that around the country today, as usual. What happened the week before never means anything, and these guys were going to come out fired up. This was going to be their Super Bowl, and a win over SC I'm sure would have made a lot of pain go away from last week, and they came out extremely emotionally high, and they played well.
Matt's first interception, it seemed like he wasn't necessarily in sync with the timing of it. But the second one, it looked, at least from our vantage point, like he kind of forced it into the coverage there. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, the 2 interceptions, the first one's extremely critical because there's some momentum right there. We had been very good in 2-minute drills this season, and that was the first play of the 2-minute drive after a turnover there that would have given us a comfortable lead there at half. The backer jumped Robert on the under, and then Matt threw it, didn't wait long enough for Rhett to come out of his break. He was going to be there. The safety was really deep. He ends up intercepting it, even though the ball was overthrown. So that was unfortunate. And then you go to the second one. I think that was his frustration. We had just gotten a penalty on a chop block or on a cut block below the waist by a receiver outside of the box, and they went back, and I think Matt was very frustrated with that because we had some little bit of momentum right there, and he forced that ball instead of throwing it to the Z who's coming underneath.
Is there a specific reason for the slow offensive starts in the last 2 games?
Yeah, we're not playing very well. I mean, we got to do better. If you go 1 for 5 in the first half on third downs, you're not going to score many points.
Have you found in general that the offensive line likes it when you start running the ball a lot and later
Sure they
on
do.
in the game?
Yeah, they don't have to pass protect. And every offensive lineman likes that. And they don't get their name called out for getting beat. Yeah, they do like that. And it was good to have that game where it's really the first time we've done that. We've leaned on him. Matt got hit. Actually, the series before that series, he got hit and was banged up, or on the face mask. He was kind of out of it a little bit, and so we weren't going to really throw the ball with him there. And I, for the most part, the rest of that drive's all runs, if I recall right.
Does this feel like a win to you?
Yeah, it does. It does. It's not perfect, but I don't know. We've got to learn to enjoy wins better. We still have high expectations and high standards, but we went on the road versus a Big Ten team and won, and we're 3-0. So yeah, our guys got to have some fun once in a while, I guess.
How about you? I mean, are you able to kind of enjoy this a little bit?
Well, down because the turnovers, they really plague you. I would have thought that we would have had more success on offense today and been more consistent. And once again, the penalties, even though we're going the right direction, are still there, and they're critical ones. A 15-yard chop block, 15-yard cut block. It's 30 yards. So we got a long ways to go. But it's good that we keep winning, and now we go into the Pac-10 play.
You knew, I assume, coming into this game that they were going to try to run the ball. How do you think your run defense responded?
Yeah, probably outside. Probably the story of the game. Outside of maybe the kickoff return was the play of our run defense. As they go 37 carries for 83 yards. With a great tailback. Tailback, I think that was averaging 150 yards a game coming in. So it was good to see that. It seemed like that was a lot of their game plan was to run, and they were checking the power a lot versus some of our fronts. And our guys played well in there. Played very stout against the run against a very big offensive line.
Does this game get you any closer to understanding maybe what the identity of your team is? You said last week that you didn't know what it was.
Well, if we could play defense the way we did today for most of the day versus a good offense, and we could run the ball the way we did in the second half and not have the turnovers in the game, then I think we'd have an identity. But that's a lot of ifs. We'd have an identity, again, very physical defense. We'd have an identity of a physical offense that it can be explosive, especially with Ronald, as you saw in the deep ball. But it's consistency. We can't turn the ball over, and we can't keep putting ourselves in third and long with the penalties.
Were you surprised that they kept going to the run even late in the game?
No, I'm sure that was their game plan. To keep the game close, to run it. Keep the clock moving, I would guess, and see if they could pull out a close game. And fortunately, we were able to make some plays in the second half to make it that it wasn't. And their plan was working well for a while. It seemed to be ultra conservative. But that's a good plan if you're a big underdog playing at home.
Are you going to feel any less likely to go for two on the first touchdown just because it kind of puts you behind in terms of the score?
No, because I think positive, Scott, unlike you never do. That if you make it, yeah, I know. That if you make it, then you're ahead of it, and you're in a 2-score game right away before anything else happens.
Why'd you run the ball on that last play?
It was our first. We had 4 linemen who hadn't played at all. We had a receiver who hadn't been in the game at all this whole season, so it gave them a chance to have a play.
Lane, I know games of paramount importance, but is there any sense like looking out of the bus and saying, I kind of went to high school here, I grew up here, or is that just totally not in your mind?
No, it doesn't. That's got nothing to do with this team and these guys. This team, our players probably know I'm from here, so we just need to continue to play well, and we were able to come in here and get a win versus a very loud crowd. I was shocked at how loud the crowd was. Looking early, and it wasn't full. I was very surprised. There's some third downs there where Matt was supposed to be in the shotgun, and we couldn't put him in the shotgun because it was so loud. He had to move back under center. It was very loud at times today, and an awesome stadium, obviously, as you guys know. It's first class.
How come Corona didn't make the trip?
He's going to redshirt.
How come the kickers had 10, but number 10?
That's part of our game plan we can't talk about for future plays.
Are you getting, they haven't cost you, are you getting concerned about these late touchdowns coming in at the very end, or is that just a matter of you got reserves?
Well, yeah, I don't like them. but I think it shows that we've got to develop depth. I mean, I've said it time and time again. We actually loaded up 52 scholarship players, for this trip today that were able to play, and so we don't sub many guys in, and unfortunately, when we put our backups in on both sides of the ball.